Good afternoon, Stitch Roadies. I've missed you. I've been on the go. I would say I've been on the go recently and have lots of little things to share. Today is a beautiful day. It's absolutely a beautiful day. There's gorgeous clouds in the sky, in this beautiful blue sky, and the temperature is like in the high 70s. I am not complaining one bit about any of it. I did spend some time down in Central Oregon where it was socked in with smoke. I forgot my inhalers, so I was like staying inside quite a bit. And I mean, if 2023 had a nickname, it would be Smokin'. It would be Smokin', because that seems to be, no matter whether you're in Canada, Maui, Washington, all over the place. I mean, some friends of ours and us were planning a camping trip here in a couple weeks, but the place we were going has been evacuated. So if they don't get that fire under control, that camping trip will be burnt toast. Yeah, it's such a bizarre year for fire, and then you have, oh, I know you read the headlines like I do, but my poor cousin was flying back to LA, but flights got canceled, so ultimately rented a car to drive home, and they not only were faced with torrential rain, but earthquake. Yeah, you know, why not just add a little bit of rumble in the middle of everything else going on? It has been quite a lot. And I hope all of you are safe. I really hope all of you are safe. I have been paying attention to Instagram because my girlfriend Janine went to summer school at the Attic in Mesa, and oh man, do I wish I had gone to that. It just looked lovely. That's the thing, is that you want to do it all, you just don't have the time, the money, the wherewithal to do it all. But you have the desire. You have the desire. And so I texted her when I saw this piece of fabric come up, and I said, is it as pretty as it sounds? And she says it is. And so I said, well, I think I need it. And you know, Tabby Cat, it's 40 count, what we call a Portland cut, half yard. I know, of bee's knees. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's a really good representation of it. I have no idea. No, I have no idea, but it was called bee's knees. And my yard is humming right now. All of my mint went crazy this summer. We had so much rain in the spring that the mint, I planted mojito mint, it went crazy, and then we couldn't use it all. I cut it off to, you know, send with my family as they came through, and it bloomed. So it went to seed, basically, and the bees have been going crazy for it. And so, you know, the bee's knees. I've seen a lot of bee's knees lately. Yeah, I have. What else has been going on? We went to a concert. I bought these tickets on Father's Day. This was my Father's Day gift to G. And because Gregory Alan Isakov is, you know, on his top 10 list. And so I bought the tickets then because it showed that he was coming to the Portland area. And I went ahead and, you know, when we were younger, I don't want to sound like an old biddy, but you know, when we were younger, it was nothing to stand in line for tickets or general admission and you just scramble for your seat. It was nothing to do that. It really wasn't. But at our age now, all we can think about is what we want to listen to the music, but we want the comfort. And so I bought reserved seats, and we were right up front. And then the whole thought of 1,000 people leaving the venue, trying to get out on the roads late at night, did not appeal to me at all. So I reserved a room at the venue so that we could just leave the concert and walk to our bedroom and stay overnight, which was lovely. It was not the days of standing in line for an hour. And the concert was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, I am not the least bit musically inclined or knowledgeable about music. G is, though. I mean, he plays the guitar by ear. He built dulcimers. He refurbished, he can play mandolin. He plays a concertina. You know, he's just very musically adept. On the other hand, I am not. I took piano lessons when I was a little kid, and that lasted not even 6 months. I do not have an ear for music. I really think that's innate. I can learn it, but that means I have to memorize it. I could not tell you if a note was a C note if I heard it or a B note. I wouldn't know. But I think that's why I told you this story before. I think in my adult life, I always wanted to be a musician. Every time I saw people play the piano or the cello or a violin, I mean, I really did. I really wish I was musically inclined. And so I took lessons when I was in my 40s. My younger son was taking piano lessons, and I started taking piano lessons too with his piano teacher, and I spent that whole few months learning one song. It was the theme to the movie Ice Castles, and it was like 5 pages long or something. And the reason I did that, and I've told you this before, I know I'm repeating myself, but maybe you're new. If you're new to this channel, it's really about cross stitch and me. It's really about me. So I practiced and practiced and practiced so that I could play on stage. Because this particular piano teacher rented an auditorium with a grand piano, and I really wanted to experience what that felt like, to play a grand piano in front of an audience. And so I dressed up in a dress, and I went up on stage and flounced my dress onto the seat, and then I played that one song, and then I was done. I really hope in my next life I come back a musician. I am really, really trying to light the right candles, do the right chants, so that I can come back as a musician. Because I really think I have the personality for a musician. I just don't have the talent. So going to this concert, even though I didn't have a clue about what kind of music. It was all, G was really excited about it. I enjoyed every second of it. And they had a band, like at a concert. Sometimes there's a band that plays before the featured band. And, see, I can't even remember who that band was. But they were lovely. It was a husband and wife. And I want to say that it was something like Tool and Shovel, or, oh, I'm so embarrassed. They were lovely, though. But when I was listening to them, I thought, you know what would really be awesome if I could see my musician friend Ellen Reed of Crash Test Dummies on stage. And then it turned out when I posted the pictures that Ellen said that Gregory Alan Isakov was one of her favorites. And I said back to her, well, Portland's a great venue. I want to see Crash Test Dummies in Portland. And she said, they're going to be here in December. Are you kidding me? I immediately told G that Crash Test Dummies is going to be here in December. Went online and bought tickets. I know. And it turns out that Janine's going to be there too, along with Lori. But then you know, what happened was you know, Ellen is a designer, and so I had started this this chart of hers. Look at everything's falling here. I had started this chart of hers because I absolutely loved it. And there's something about, if you watched her floss tube, there's something about, you know, sometimes when people are talented in one way, they just basically are talented, and that's what's happened here. Maximum cross stitch. This was the chart. There's always room. I loved the sentiment of it. There's always room at the table. And so I pulled it out, and here's how far I had gotten. And I realized, I was thinking in my mind, because it had been a while since I pulled it out, that it was a big sampler. Well, it isn't. I mean, it looks like maybe 10 by 10, something like that. And since she's coming in December, I have this great need to just have this done, because then I can, you know, if I get to talk to her, I can just say, oh, yeah, your sampler that there's always room. Yeah, it just was like that. Yeah, it was just like that. It's hanging in my dining room. I love it. You know, I would say it like that, but it would be nice to be able to say that I finished it. So somehow I'm going to have to move it to my designated stitch territory. Yeah. So I got my tickets. I'm all ready for it. The cross-stitch girls at the shop are all ready for it. And we are going to, and look at this cute bag that's gifted to me. It was so cute that it holds that. So yes, I am going to have to, yeah, you know, get on the bandwagon, get on the stitching bandwagon. Oh, I just want to... Okay, did you see my butt? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, gosh. Sorry. Gosh, that was rude, wasn't it? So talking about designated stitch, you remember this one. This was the one that moved up in the queue. I am doing this area here and then bringing this braid down. This designated stitch is a birthday gift for my sister who lives in wine country, and I am enjoying every bit of this stitch. I almost want to pluck those grapes to eat them. So I worked on that, and you remember this one, and here we are with that one so far, getting close, getting very close. So it's not like I've been just sitting around, you know. I have been keeping the stitchiness busy. But what was really interesting to me is that when we went to the concert, you know, we were at Edgefield, McMiniman's Edgefield, which is actually in Troutdale, which is like a suburb of Portland. It was I took stitching because, you know, if you're a diehard stitcher, you might have a panic attack if you didn't have your stitching with you, but I did not touch it once. It was like I relaxed into the experience of the moment, and I didn't die. You know, I keep thinking that if I get caught without stitching, it's not going to be pretty, but in fact, and maybe it could be that I had stitching with me, I just didn't do any stitching. It could be that. Yeah, I'm kind of babbly today, aren't I? Yeah. What's that commercial for Babbel to learn foreign language? Yeah. Okay, so what else? I have not heard from the winner of the Fat Quarter shop gift card or the winner of the Blackbird charts, the 2 Blackbird charts. And the winner of those 2 items is at the end of video 216. So one better go check, or we're going to next time draw again. And at the end of this video will be the winner of Cornelius the Chicken. And this is from the Quilt Barn. She donated this whole kit. Isn't that so colorful and so cute? What else has been going on? So much has been going on. What can I tell you? When I went down to Central Oregon, we call that going over the mountain, I missed Kate, who is on Linda and Kate do a lot together, and Cynthia's Sewing Center in Bend, Oregon is owned by Kate and her husband, and they have leased a space out, an additional space out from the sewing center for classes, and not only quilting and sewing classes, but cross-stitch groups. And so I had to stop there because she is starting to carry patterns and week's dye work threads. She had a whole wall of Weeks Dye Works threads. And so I picked up this pattern from Cynthia Sewing Center. Merry Christmas Pin Keep Drum Stacy Nash Primitives. It was just so sweet. So if you're in the Bend, Oregon, or anywhere in Central Oregon, know that there's a little haven there for you cross-stitchers. And when I went over the mountain, and I stopped at an antique store in Redmond, as you know, just to kind of take a break, I found this for sale, and it turned out it's the kind of antique store where they have booths that are filled by different vendors. And I found this little pie tin, but look at, isn't this the cutest? Cross-stitched. It's so cute. Adorable. Adorable. I had gotten in the mail, you know, Linda Van Accessible, Patreon, has designed another top for the tin. And what I mean by top for the tin is the Altoid tins. You know, you can get this pattern from her. And then I really, really love that one. And this was to commemorate the first year anniversary of starting her small business. Isn't it adorable? And I was finally cleaning up the beehive. I mean, the beehive had become a dumping ground. And so I decided I needed to just start to really organize it and get some sense of control. Yeah. I want to be in control of my domain. Unfortunately, my domain is usually in control of me. But I did. I tried to clean it and get organized, and I found a chart that was included when I had placed an order, and it came like a little freebie from Stitchworks, and I absolutely love that. I am definitely going to be doing that. The needlework of mine, forever stitching time. Yeah. Well, I went over to Acorns and Threads because I had to pick up my bee's knees. Janine had come back from a fabulous, if you follow on the Attic Needlework on Instagram, you really felt left out. You just felt totally left out because that looked like so much fun. You know, you just can't do everything that you want to do. You want to, you just can't do everything you want to do. And so I went over there to pick up the bee's knees from Janine because she was bringing it back for me. She was like my linen mule. That sound awful. Yeah, she was my linen mule. And so a couple things that I had pre-ordered were in my little box, and this is a total crack up. Heart and Hand. I mean, yeah, those skinny little knobby knees and Santa was just a total crack up to me. And it came with a little bit of beads. Very, very cute. So that had come in. And then, because Stitch Summit includes Satsuma Street and ink circles, I bought this chart. I just love that. Because G and I have happy hour every day. It's not like we're, you know, drinking it every day. But what we mean by happy hour is we gather at 4 o'clock every day, no matter what we're doing in our lives, because we're both kind of have our passions. We make a concerted effort, unless one of us is out of town, to meet this time of year in the backyard at 4 o'clock. And so I just loved this. So it's called 5 o'clock, but we're calling it 4 o'clock. Yeah. So much fun. Yeah. And when I was there, because I mainly went there to not only get my my fabric, but to you know, to use up my gift card that lovingly someone left for me. Yes, Janine won't tell me who, but I used the last bit of it. And what I used it on was the patterns. And then when I had bought this pattern, I know I probably had the thread and everything, but these threads had just come in. And oh, aren't they just lovely? I mean, this is called Manor Red. So I think this will be perfect. Yeah. It's so funny because when I was cleaning up the beehive, I found my library card. Yahoo! I've been looking for that for a couple years. Just kind of cracks me up. And then I bought this. We've been working on the backyard, so we had gone to this home decor garden center place, and they have all kinds of really cool little gift items and candles and all that stuff. But I had to do this. Death before decaf. Yes, because this is my plan. I am sick and tired of feeling left out. Like I cannot seem to keep up a journal. So I'm going to try in 2024, I'm going to try to use that book that Laura and Brenda and the Serial Starter, they use to track. And so I need a lot of stickers, and it's like a calendar. I'm just going to try to do that and see if that can get me somewhat organized, but I don't know if it will or not. So winding down here, let's see, books. I finished the book by Hadley, Vlahos, The In-Between. Excellent book. Excellent, excellent. Especially the author's note, wrap it up at the end. It's just a book that I think would be beneficial and peaceful for everyone. And am now at the tail end of my latest book, which was, let's see, because you know, I have to now, I can't remember what I have done and Between Two Kingdoms. Between Two Kingdoms is an autobiography of Suleika, Jaouad, who is a journalist, and it is her travels through being in her 20s with cancer. And I know these all sound like such a drag. Why don't we read some, something more fun? But there just is a lot of hope and different perspectives that I think is good. I think it's good. So that's the I'm almost finishing up with that. And let's see. And I had just started The Measure. Oh my gosh. Now that is definitely a book club book. Yeah. So I've got a lot going on in the reading department. And that's keeping me quite entertained. Let's see, anything else here? I just feel like I don't want to miss a thing. You guys are so wonderful to come by and visit with me, and I appreciate all the comments. And yeah, I appreciate all the comments. Some of them are suggestions that I really enjoy. Others are sharing what life is serving up in your neck of the woods, and it's just nice to be connected. And so I think that's why when I saw all the pictures for summer school, I thought, oh, the people that were there were people that, you watched on Floss Tube, or you've been at a previous retreat with. You just felt like you missed out. Like, oh, Stitching by the Lake, Marlene. Oh, man, I would have loved to have met her in person. And Brenda and the Serial Starter. Now, Brenda and I have met, but I have not met her starter person, Laura. And it just looked like a totally inspiring environment. Totally inspiring. Yeah. Definitely have to go to the next one. I did, now, I didn't have a whole lot of time for Floss Tube. I know, I totally get it. People say they want to watch, but they just don't have time because life is life. I get it. But I try to get in one or two at least, because that means I'm actually stitching in the beehive. And the Pink Stitchers remain very engaging for me, so much so, and so enabling. I think for everybody, each floss tube is so different, and different ones appeal for different reasons. And for me, the Pink Stitchers, the mothers and daughters, I no longer have my mother, and we didn't have that kind of relationship, but boy, am I glad to be part of her gene pool. So it's really fun to watch some mothers and daughters, and they are enablers, because I ended up buying a project bag that they showed that was made by Dot Dot Goose for my friend Janine, because I just thought, oh my gosh, that's the perfect project bag. So I ended up, they have got the enabling gene. And then I watched Sambry Stitch's interview with the floss tuber, and she was interviewing the frozen crafter, Megan. And Megan is very special to me because she was one of my early on meeting for the first time, cross-stitching in a group, floss tuber. There was just an immediate kind of connection. We love Harry Potter. We both come from Asian backgrounds. And so this latest interview with the floss tuber by Sambry Stitches was Megan, the Frozen Crafter. So go and take a look at that, because that'll be you'll enjoy it. Megan is absolutely adorable and sweet. She's a math teacher. Can you imagine teaching math? Being a teacher, period, has got to be challenging these days. But poor Becca from Sambury Stitches, if you're on her Instagram at all, she's had quite the dental journey, and it so reminded me of my own, because when I was 18, this is a story that has nothing to do about nothing, but when I was 18, I was riding with a whole group of friends. We were all riding our bikes, and we had just come back from horseback riding on the beach. Because who doesn't want to horseback ride on a beach? You see it in movies, and your hair is blowing, and you may be, in your mind, you are this beautiful, hair flying, running down the beach on a horseback. It was so awesome. It really was awesome. And so on the way home, we were still, there was like maybe 6 of us riding our bikes, and being stupid at 18, my friend and I were holding hands. We were riding our bikes without hands because we were still on the high of riding a horse on the beach. So we were holding hands, and then she lost her balance, and then I started wobbling and stuff, and I hit a car. I flew over the hood of the car. This is why you know that you're gonna die when you're gonna die. If it's not gonna happen, if I didn't die then, I got stuff to do. That's all I can say. So I flew over the hood of a car and landed on the street with my chin. So my mouth hit so hard that it broke all my back teeth. And I had a porcelain bracelet on because, one rides on a horse as if you're in a movie. And that thing shattered and broke all over. All my friends just thought, oh my God, all her teeth fell out. Oh my God. It was like this big drama thing. And then I went to the ER. And so then everything kind of got closed up, and I couldn't open my it went on for weeks, and I was miserable. Yeah. So I have great dental anxiety and fear, and that is why, when it comes to dental things, seeing how miserable Becca was on social media, I was like, oh my God, this is my worst nightmare. Absolutely my worst nightmare. Yeah, anything to do with teeth and dental things, I start breaking out in a sweat. Yeah, you wouldn't think I'd have that problem since I was like in the ER, the OR, labor and delivery. But yeah, when it comes to a dentist, yeah, no. Okay, I'm babbling. I am babbling. Okay, I've looked all around. I think I'm done. Oh gosh. Okay. Thank you for stopping by. Love you guys. Remember, I hope those winners contact. Yeah. And just keep stitching. Love you guys.